Hi, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and today I'll be bringing you two shadow boxes that I made in Design Space. So we're going to start with shadow box at number 1. So I've already cut my design out of Design Space and put it together. And now I have some tumbling tower blocks and some wood glue from the Dollar Tree. And we are going to glue 4 pieces together end to end. And we are going to do 8 of those. So I find this wood glue works very well. And this is what I use when I glue all my wood pieces together. So if you haven't tried it, you might want to try it. And I'm just using my T-square to make sure my pieces are level. So again, I'm going to do 8 pieces that are end to end with 4 tumbling tower blocks on each. And there's the cutout from the Design Space, and I have this board from the Dollar Tree. And I am just going to add some foam pieces to the back. This is the thick foam that I have. Not sure where I got it because I've had it for years. And I'm just going to put 1 piece in each corner and then some in the center there. And since I ran out of the dots, you can actually use the leftover foam tray. So don't throw it away. Waste not, want not, is what I say. It's what my mom always said. So this is how I'm going to hook it to the Dollar Tree board. And these Dollar Tree boards come in white, black, and brown. So I actually bought one of each. We're using the black one for this project. So I'm just trying to line it up in the center pretty much. A bit more towards the bottom because of the hanger at the top. So I'm just pressing it down. So there is my cutouts on my backing. And now we're going to work on the tumbling tower pieces. So I want to paint these with some, well, first of all, I'm going to glue 2 of them together so we'll have 4 8-piece pieces. So I'm going to glue it on top of each other. Still using that wood glue from the Dollar Tree. That one came apart, so I just glued it back together. And now I'm going to paint it with my Apple Barrel white acrylic paint that I got from Walmart. And I'm going to paint the top, the bottom, and the sides except for one side, the one long side. I'm not going to paint it because that's where we're going to glue it onto the board. And I'm just going to do 1 coat because I kind of like to see the wood coming through. And now I'm going to glue it onto the board on each side of the design there. So on the side that hasn't been painted, I'm going to put my wood glue on there. And the design itself is about an 8x8 square. Like I said, it was on Design Space and I didn't customize it or anything. I just cut it out and put it together with foam pieces in between the layers. So again, I'm just gluing these pieces onto the back board. And there it is. And I did put something heavy on top of it to weight it down. There it is hanging on my wall. I think it turned out pretty good. And now on to shadow box number 2. So for this one here, again, I got into Design Space and I cut out the pieces for this. It is on the home page. It's a cardinal in a tree. So this one I'm going to show you how to layer it. So that blue part there with the cutout, the circle cutout, is kind of the bottom sheet. And now I'm just taking some more of the foam pieces. This is the thinner foam, and it's just what was left over from when I used all the circular foam pieces. And this is the mountains. So we're going to put that on our bottom piece there. And I just line up the bottom. And once you get the bottom lined up, everything else should be good to go. Once I get it on there, I'm just going to press it down. Now we have a couple more pieces with some mountains and a road and some trees. So you do one on one side and one on the other side. Again, I'm using these foam pieces, and they're the thinner foam. So I'm just putting them on there where I think they should go so they won't collapse. And these longer pieces are from a foam tape that I got from the Dollar Tree. Again, I'm just going to line up that bottom edge there. And now we're going to do the other side. And now I have this yellow piece that's going to be the sun, I think it is. And I am going to glue that on the back of this blue piece. So I just have this Elmer's craft glue that is clear. I had to order it from Amazon. I couldn't get it in the stores. None of the stores had it. So I'm just putting the glue around the edges of that square. And then I'm going to put that over top of the circular hole. And there it is. And now we have two more pieces, kind of like mountains or a path or whatever you want to call it, with some trees, cut out trees. And again, I'm going to use some foam on that. So when you get these foam tape pieces from the Dollar Tree, there are 3 different sizes in a package. You have a real skinny one, a medium one, and then a wider piece. And then I have these little squares. Again, I got these from the Dollar Tree. So I add this piece on, again lining up the bottom edge. I really like doing these shadow boxes. Have any of you tried them yet? And if you have, what do you think about them? I think they're kind of addictive. I like them. I like them a lot. So I used the strips and now I'm using the little squares. Pressing them down, make sure they're stuck to the cardstock. And again, most of, well, not then again, but most of this cardstock that I'm using for this one was the 8.5 by 11 that you can get at any store that like carries paper. You can get it at Walmart. You can get it at, of course, Hobby Lobby. You can get it at the office stores, Office Depot, or whatever it is. Just a package of colored paper cardstock. Now there's our green with the trees. I'm just trimming up the edges a little bit because sometimes when you get it off your Cricut, it doesn't fully cut all the way. And then you have a little bit of leftover edges. So I'm just trimming that up. Now I have that thick foam, and it's just what's left over once all the dots were out of there. And I'm going to use that to adhere the top of this green piece to our shadow box. Because the bottom piece has 2 layers with a thinner foam, and this foam is about twice as thick as the other foam, so it should make up for it and let it lay the same. So I put a piece in each upper corner, and then I'm going to put some in the center there, and then on each side. So I'm just checking it out, making sure I have it in the right place. Put another thicker one there on that side. And then I want to use the thinner foam towards the bottom there. And we'll put this layer on. And then we need to put some behind the trees. Put that one behind that tree, and then we'll get a piece for the other tree. And you want to make sure that you don't see your foam pieces when you're looking at your shadow box head on. So you want to make sure they're behind the layer you're putting them on so you don't see it when you look at it. So I think I put two behind that tree there. Or maybe it's just one, I don't know. Well, it's just one. And now we have this black layer here with the cardinal on it and the tree limb that he's sitting on. So again, we're going back to the thinner foam pieces, and this is one of the rolls from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to put the foam pieces in each corner and on the bird. And I think I put a couple pieces on the tree limb too. Actually, I don't put any on the tree limb. I just leave it as is. And now we're on to the next layer, which is a tan piece. So I'm just going to take these little square pieces and put them in the corners. Then I'm going to put them in the center of between each corner. And then I'm going to put a couple on the tree limb. This is where I put it on the tree limb. But again, you want to make sure you get them on there so you don't see the foam pieces when you're looking at your shadow box straight on. Just trimming up the edge again. There's a little leftover paper there. Just pressing it down. And then we'll work on the next two layers before we put them down. So the one is the green with the leaves, and the next one is the black with the outline of the leaves. So we're going to use that Elmer's craft glue, the clear stuff for this. And I'm just going to put it on the black piece. I need to figure out exactly where the placement's going to be of the black on top of the green so that I get it right. Now, a few of my black pieces didn't turn out, and one or two of the green pieces didn't turn out. So what I did was I just cut those black and green pieces off entirely. You know, if it was a black piece, I took the black piece and the green piece off so that you couldn't tell they were messed up. And so I wouldn't have to cut it out again because, yeah, the weeding on some of this is really time consuming. So now that I know where the placement's going to be, then I'm going to add my glue. So I add my glue to the piece itself, going around the whole thing, and then a little bit in the corners there. And then I just go down the stem of each of the plants. And that should be good. And then I just glue those two pieces together. And you want to make sure you have your black pieces where they need to go over top of your green pieces. Or as close to it as you can. They don't have to be perfect. Let me know if this is something you might make. I've done several shadow boxes now. And like I said, I really like them. I'm kind of addicted to them now. Okay, so this piece is now ready to attach to our shadow box. However, we need to put our cardinal on first. So we have the red cut out for his coat. And you know it's a he because it's bright red. So I'm just using the small square foam pieces. So we just want to line him up with the black silhouette underneath. And now we have these three pieces that are a golden yellow. So it's his beak and his feet. And we are going to use the Elmer's craft glue that is clear for this. So we're starting out with his beak. And then we're going to go on to his feet. And I accidentally put the glue on the wrong side of his foot, so I had to wipe that off and redo it. So these were just teeny tiny pieces. Okay, we got his beak and his feet on. Well, no, one foot. We got to do the other foot. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, we got his feet on, and now it's time to put that green and black piece on. So I'm just getting some strips of the foam, and I'm going to put them in the corners of each of these. The corners of this piece, I should say. And you can see on the left-hand side where you can see some of the black there of the leaves and there's no green. I do cut those off. And that's what I'm doing right there, cutting those off. So any green or black piece that's by itself, I do cut it off. So that it looks like it was made that way. I didn't want people to think that I left pieces on or that it wasn't completely cut right. So this way it looks like it was made that way. Now again, I line up the bottom, just trying to figure out what looks good there. So if you have the bottom lined up, everything else should go into place. Now for our last layer. So we have this white piece that we're going to put on top. And I'm using the roll of thinner foam, and I'm going all the way across the bottom and all the way across the top. And then about 3/4 of the way on the sides. You have a little bit of that paper hanging over, just trimming that up a little bit because you want it to look nice. So here I go with my 3/4 of the foam piece there. So we're going to add our last layer on. Yay! These are a bit time consuming, but let me tell you, I think they're worth it. I really do. They look so nice. And I'm hoping to sell these at the craft show that I'll be doing March the 25th. So we'll see how it goes. And we're going to do this one kind of like we did the last one. We're going to put it on one of those boards from the Dollar Tree. This time we're going to use the brown one. And again, I'm using my wood glue, which I put in this tube. I had used up all the clear glue that was in this tube, and it has a fine end on it. So putting my wood glue in it, I think was a great idea because then I don't get a whole lot of glue popping out. So again, I'm just using the wood glue from the Dollar Tree and the tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree. And I want to do 4 sets of 4 that are glued end to end. This shadow box was a lot thinner than the flower shadow box that we did in the first DIY. So we only need 1 set of the 4 blocks for each side. So I'm using this brown, which is a nutmeg brown, and I'm just going to mix it with some water. I'm going to do it kind of like a stain. So I'm just mixing it up. And then I just paint it on my blocks, and I do the whole thing. All the ends, all the edges, everything. I just do it all. You could do like we did in the previous DIY and leave that one side undone. But I just went ahead and did them all. You do want to make sure they're dry before you glue them onto your piece. Oops, I'm going to have to glue that piece back together. Okay, so I have my board here, again from the Dollar Tree. So we've used the black one and now the brown one. So I'm just taking our Cardinal shadow box, and I'm going to center it on here, but I want it more towards the bottom, and I'm just, again, using that wood glue, and we're going to glue it to the wood piece with the wood glue. I did not want to use the foam dots because it would put it up higher, and I don't think it would look good with the tumbling tower blocks that we're framing it with. So we're just going to put these on the same way we did in the previous one. I'm just going to put the glue along the edge there and glue it onto the piece from the Dollar Tree, putting it up beside our shadow box. So I'm going to do the bottom and the top one, and then I'll do the side ones. You want to make sure your hanger is out of the way so you don't glue it down. I'm just kind of cleaning up the extra glue that I got down there. Flipping it around and doing the last side. And again, when I had to turn that one around. When I get all the sides on, then I put some weight on the whole thing. Like I used my 12 by 12 cardstock books, several of them, because you know paper's heavy, and I just sat it on top of the piece, and there it is hanging on my wall. I think it turned out really good. I mean, I really like it. And there are both of them. Which one do you like the best? You know, I didn't think that I would like the Cardinal so much, but I kind of like it best. Again, I'm Liz with Liz's Crafts, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. And if you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. And feel free to share my videos with others. Thank you.